Hey there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittney Bundles, and today's video is going to be a Q&A video. I'm going to be answering questions associated with fears pertaining to starting a business. Now, I did make a video, I think it had to be about 1.5 or 2 years ago at this point, maybe even 3. I'll find the video and link it down below so you can watch that video after watching this. But I made a video titled, "You're Scared of Starting a Business. I'm Scared of You Not Starting a Business." And pretty much in that video, I was going over the importance of not waiting until you actually need additional income or need to start the business. And the reason I'm doing this is because a lot of people, they classify needs as, differently. So I can say from my personal experience, as well as working with tons of entrepreneurs, it always works the best to be proactive, meaning that you don't want to wait until you absolutely are on your last strike at work to start your business. Can you do that? Yes, but it would make a lot more sense, in my opinion, to be proactive and start that business before there's any concern of you losing your primary source of income or one of your high revenue streams. Meaning that if your job is providing the majority or the bulk of your income, or if you have another stream of income, let's say you do contracting work on the side, and that's providing a big portion or the majority of your income. Before you wait, or instead of waiting until work slows down, or instead of waiting until you don't have as many jobs, go ahead and start that business now, so that when anything happens, such as work slowing down, you losing a contract, or if you're working a job and your job goes out of business, or you get on your third strike, you're about to be laid off, or you do get laid off, you already have gone past the portion of your business where you are advertising to let people know that you're in business, let people know that you're a company. You've already got past the part where you're working on getting website traffic if you're an e-commerce business. You've already gotten past the point where you are working with your first orders and getting a gauge for how your daily routine is going to work in terms of growing your business. And so now you're at the part where you can generate revenue and be able to grow into sustaining your lifestyle even without the primary source of income, if that makes sense. Now I'm going to dive into that theory, that analogy a little bit more in this video, but that's pretty much what I was going over in that video. Under that video, I did get some comments where people were listing what they were afraid of or what their fears associated with starting a business are. There's no such thing as a crazy fear, right? Because we're all unique in what makes us fearful. We're all unique in what makes us motivated. So everyone's entitled to have their fears. However, I do want to provide some closure in this video. Hopefully this will help those that are afraid of starting their business look at it in a different light and maybe find the motivation that they need to embark on that journey. So if you are interested in this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Please make sure that you are subscribed. Let's get right into the video. So the first thing that I want to go over in relation to fears associated with starting a business is, number one, someone mentioned that they were not able to pay their monthly bills or not being able to pay their monthly bills. Okay, great thought, great fear. I get it. That is something that is very real, right? So that's why I'm recommending, if you do have a 9-to-5, I'm not going to tell you to quit your 9-to-5 so that you can start your business. I never say that. Not until you're ready, not until you're financially able to do so. It would not be financially responsible. I never say put all of your eggs in one basket. I never say look at one stream of income. So if you were thinking, okay, in order for me to start this business, I have to quit my business, I can see why that fear would be prevalent. But if you can think of ways to start your business while you're still working, start your business while you're still going to school, start your business while you're still doing contracting work, start your business while you're still running another business, that would be ideal. Because at that point, you can still use the income that you're used to receiving to pay your bills and then work on creating this other revenue stream that can take the place, if it needs to, of your 9-to-5 or the other consistent revenue stream that you're looking for to take the place of. There are some entrepreneurs that don't quit their 9 to 5, even when their business gets off the ground and when they're making substantial income. Some do. But all I'm saying is, why wait until you actually need the extra income to start the business? Because you're going to have to start, you know, a lot of us are from starting from the ground up. And so it takes time for that seed that we planted to actually grow into fruit. It's going to take time for a lot of us to actually receive enough income to, number one, pay back our business expenses. So typically you have expenses when you're running your business off a website. You have your e-commerce fees, and then you have fees depending on which payment merchant that you're using that are associated with that. So whatever sale you get, a percentage is taken um, based on the merchant that you're using. You also have the inventory costs if you're selling products. If you're doing services, you have to account for the time that you're taking away from any other task, or your daily life in general, and be able to make that time count. Speaking about money as well, with the other business. Now, I'm not someone that talks about just jumping to a business or starting a business to make money right off the bat, because like I said, a lot of times it takes time for that seed to grow. However, I am going to talk about being proactive and financially responsible. If you've been following this channel, you know I have a background in the financial industry. I was a loan officer for 3 years. So I'm in no way saying put yourself in any financial deficit where you're going to be struggling to keep up and pay your bills. I'm saying go ahead and start your business before you need the income, before your job. Because the truth is, a lot of times we feel like we're secure with our 9 to 5s and we're not. And there have been a lot of jobs that I've had, and I've seen people that have been there for years not expect to get laid off, not expect for their hours to be cut, not expect for the business to close, and all of that ended up happening. And so they're in a position now where they're like, what do I do? And so again, it's all about just being proactive. You may be scared of not starting a business, but I'm more scared of not having one just in case. You want to make sure that you're implementing multiple streams and areas of revenue so that you're as financially secure as you possibly can be. Now, before I go on to number 2, I do want to let you all know that I have a website by the name of keepingupwithbrittney.com. If you scroll down to the website, there's a form where you can type any questions that you have, and then I can go ahead and respond to the question, and then also do a video on that topic if I feel like it's relevant to the channel. So I did get another comment or a question. I don't know. I'm thinking this was a comment too under that video. It may have been a comment under the video, or it may have been one of the questions that I got from the email form, but I summed up the question to say failure. So that's another fear associated with starting a business. What if I fail? And my question to you is, what if you don't? There's always a what if. There's always a chance that something may not go your way, right? There's always a chance that you may win as big as you hope to win, and you may not. However, are you going to allow the what if to deter you from embarking into something that could potentially be amazing for you? That's why I say in a lot of my videos, don't start a business just for money. Now, yes, money is a great perk of having your business, and it also is another way to build financial security. However, you want to make sure that you're going into business with something that you are passionate about, something that can leave you fulfilled. And you want it to be something that you're confident in selling. There are a lot of people that jump into different industries and they don't really feel connected to the business that they're running because they don't really want to run that business selling what it is they're selling. They don't really want to offer what it is they're offering. They may have jumped into the business because it was trending. They may have jumped into the business because their friend does it. They may have jumped into the business because maybe they saw a video on YouTube that inspired them for whatever reason, but it wasn't a reason that really hit their core. You know what I mean? So when you find what really hits your core, and when you go into a business that you really enjoy, it's easier to sell what you believe in. And so even if you fail, you have to look at what you're considering failure. Are you considering failure you not making 100,000 your first year? Because again, like I said, it's going to take time for those seeds to grow. And that's just the reality of it. You may not make your monetary goal as soon as you jump into business. You may be in business for 5 years and still not make your monetary goal. But what do you consider failure? Are you gauging your failure based on the amount of money that you're not making? Are you gauging your failure based on the amount of traffic that you've received to your store, whether online or brick or mortar? Or are you basing your failure on other people's opinions? What are you basing it on? A lot of times when we stop and ask ourselves those questions, we start to look at our business in a different light, right? I used to consider failure as just people not giving me support. Hey, if they're not supporting me, then I must not be doing a good job. And so I used to really be focused on the lack of support, the lack of support. If you go back to some of my younger or earlier podcast episodes, I talk about that a lot, the lack of support. And, there's nothing wrong with, acknowledging your feelings from not having the support that you thought you would have had and the support that you feel you deserve. However, it comes a point where you have to, I don't want to say not care, but not care about other people's validation. And you may be saying to me, well, how does that work? I'm a business, so I need people to validate what I'm offering in order for my business to sustain, right? I need people to shop with me. I need people to support me. And all of that is true. It's all very true. However, you have to realize that a lot of times your support awaits you, meaning that the people that are closest to you, the people that you're expecting to support you, the people that you're hoping to get support from, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to be those people. Sad to say, but it's a real reality. And that's kind of redundant that I say real reality, but it is. It's an honest truth, a hurtful truth that some people have to come to the realization with. Now, do some people have support from their family and friends? Yes. But do most people are going to tell you, even the ones that have support from their family and friends, that the support that they got that's actually sustaining their business, they received from people that they didn't know. So when we look at failure, we have to analyze how we're measuring failure and where we're getting the concept of failure. Are we being too hard on ourselves? Because if you work at something, a lot of times you're going to realize that it turns out better than you expect. Even if you have to pivot your business, meaning even if you get started in one area and you find out down the road that area isn't serving to your customers, clients, or yourself, and you want to do something different, as long as you have an idea, something that you're passionate and dedicated to, passionate with and dedicated to, 9 times out of 10, you're going to find some success in it. Again, I'm not saying that you're going to make the exact amount that you're hoping to make when you make it. That would be great. And I'm not saying that you're not either, but I'm saying that you want to dig deeper into the business and find your successes instead of worrying about what others think about you or what you didn't make by a certain date, but just staying connected to it and finding fulfillment and knowing that it's going to take time for your business to grow. Again, which is another reason why you want to go ahead and get started with it before you actually need the money. The third thing that I want to go over is people are fearful of costs associated with business. So that's another valid concern, right? The cost. But cost can be different to everyone. You don't have to put a lot of money into your business to start your business off. You don't have to pay for paid ads right off the bat. You don't have to get a lot of inventory. My biggest piece of advice would be to use what you have. Start with what you have and work your way up. If I would have waited until I had everything that I thought I needed and wanted for YouTube, for example, I would have still been waiting. So a lot of times we just have to get started with what we have and we have to learn to grow into it. And even if you are kicking yourself like, man, if I would have waited another year, whatever you are feeling like you should have waited for to do, if you're in that position to do it now. You can always, like, for example, if I wanted to get a new camera, I can do that now. If I wanted to do different editing styles, I can do that now. But I still have jumped in. I still have gotten myself monetized. I still have started receiving income from YouTube instead of waiting to start now with, everything that I thought I needed years ago. So again, cost, yes, that's very reasonable, but I wouldn't overextend yourself. So if that means that you are going to sacrifice going out to the movies 2 times a week or 2 times a month, excuse me, or if that means that you sacrifice getting your nails done or whatever you need to sacrifice to put some money up to start your website, purchase some inventory. And nowadays, drop shipping is a thing. So there's companies that offer drop shipping like myself. There's just a lot of other out of cart or not traditional options that are out there that can really help you get started without taking out any business loans and without paying a lot of money. And a lot is going to be different for everyone, but with paying minimum amounts of money to get started. Shopify, for example, they have some really, really inexpensive plans, and you do have the option to build your own website. So if you're interested in starting your own website, I do have links down below to Shopify, so check those out when you can. The next fear that I'm going to go over is not having enough time to advertise. So time is definitely a concern. You know, people are like, I work my job, I have children, I am a spouse, I have other obligations outside of even, you know, I have other outside obligations outside of my children, my spouse. You know, I'm in the choir, my children, all these extracurricular activities, and I just don't have time for a business. What I would say is make the time somehow, like find the time. I used to actually go outside on my lunch break and use that time to work my business, meaning I would, if I needed to call anyone back, I would do that then. If I needed to respond to emails, I would do that then. If I needed to package hair, I would do that then. I would take the hair with me and package it up where I was at. If I was traveling, I would take the hair with me a lot of times and mail out the hair at different post offices, which is okay because I still got the tracking information and I still was able to send everything out as if I was at home. Sometimes I would hire an assistant to help. So it's just different. Sometimes I would get someone from my family to help. Just doing different things to ensure that I'm getting what I need done. And then me doing all of that, sacrificing the time, working on my lunch break. I still ate, but still working on my lunch break. And now allows me the freedom to have that time back plus more. So now I talk about making mobile money. I talk about the benefits of not having to be stationed at one place to generate revenue. And so, you know, eventually you're going to have to choose to possibly be uncomfortable for a season in order to be comfortable moving forward. And then the last thing that I'm going to go over is not knowing where to start. So that can also be a very, I guess, confusing area to be in, just not knowing where to start, not knowing what to do, you know. And I would say this, if I could give any advice, I would say start with here. Start with your heart. Start with what you want to do. Block out everything and anything that anyone has ever said about your ideas not working, your ideas not being good enough. Block out any stress, I don't know, any negative thoughts. Just block all that out for a second and try to tap into what you want to do. What do you want to do? What makes you happy? If you could do anything in this world, because you can, what would you do? And then the next thing I would do is think about a cost-effective way to start that. What fits your budget? How much are you able and willing to spend toward this business while being financially responsible? And then be creative. So if it's a product that you're wanting to sell, products that you're wanting to sell, what are the options for the products? Do I want to do like a drop shipping option at first? Do I want to do like some inventory on hand, some drop shipping? Do I want to put make payments in a certain account until I can build up to buying the products in bulk? Like, how do I want to pay for this business idea? And then give yourself a time frame and get started and stay committed and constantly do your research and constantly be creative, think of ideas and get started. I have other videos step by step about going over how to actually start that business once you're ready, but start here with your idea and push forward. So I hope that those tips helped. Again, I didn't go into too much detail about where to start because I have tons of videos in my business playlist going over that specific topic. If you do have any questions or if you have any comments, again, you can always go to my website, which is keepingupwithbrittney.com, scroll all the way to the bottom and then fill out that form. Put YouTube somewhere in that form if you can. That way I know which platform the question is coming from and which one it's for. And then you can also leave a comment below under this video too if you'd like to, but some people, they don't like leaving comments. They prefer to email or go to the website. So whatever works best for you. I'm just trying to give you all options. I definitely believe in that. Whatever makes you more comfortable, stick to that. I want to thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.